President Trump is sharply escalating his rhetoric as the midterm elections approach. Just yesterday, he openly called for Republicans to take control of elections while once again ranting about his loss to Joe Biden in 2020. These remarks came during an interview with a right-wing podcaster who also happens to be a former FBI Deputy Director, Dan Bongino. Right now, tensions on Capitol Hill are reaching a boiling point. Senators and House members from both parties are no longer whispering their concerns behind closed doors. They are standing in front of cameras and publicly demanding that Donald Trump resign. This is not political gossip or quiet dissent. It is a loud, coordinated, and unprecedented call for his immediate departure. Lawmakers are openly discussing resignation, impeachment, and even invoking the 25th Amendment to remove him from office. What makes this moment extraordinary is that these calls are not limited to Democrats. Reports indicate that more than 100 House members and several senators believe Trump must go. Members of Congress are questioning everything from his fixation on annexing Greenland to controversial and opaque actions involving Venezuela. Above all, there is growing alarm that his behavior has become erratic, impulsive, and dangerously unpredictable, raising serious concerns about whether he can be trusted with presidential authority. Trump, however, appears completely unfazed. He is behaving as if none of this criticism exists, brushing off concerns from even members of his own party as background noise. But the reality is far more serious. Capitol Hill is effectively on fire, politically speaking. The central question now is whether these demands will lead to real consequences. Will impeachment proceedings begin? Will the cabinet step in and invoke the 25th Amendment? Or will this ultimately amount to nothing more than political theater? The White House has reportedly pushed back strongly against any discussion of the 25th Amendment. Meanwhile, Democrats have introduced a single article of impeachment accusing Trump of inciting violence against the U.S. government. The charge states that the president gravely endangered the security of the United States and its institutions of government and betrayed his constitutional oath. One crucial point fueling this crisis is Trump's repeated insistence that he has authority over elections, something the Constitution clearly does not grant him. Elections are run by individual states, and Congress sets the rules. The president has no legal power to nationalize or take over voting systems. Yet Trump continues to spin false claims about the 2020 election, even privately admitting disbelief that he lost to Joe Biden, while publicly alleging mass illegal voting without evidence. Despite all this, Congress is openly challenging a sitting president in a way rarely seen in U.S. history. This kind of upheaval is more commonly associated with unstable democracies, not the United States. And yet, here we are. Trump has pushed boundaries so aggressively that even members of his own party are calling him dangerous, reckless, and unfit to serve. Removing a president is no small task. It requires overwhelming congressional support, cabinet members willing to turn against him, and clear evidence that he is incapable of fulfilling his duties. Critics argue Trump lacks even a basic understanding of critical global issues in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia, making him dangerously unprepared to lead. While calls for Trump's removal are not new, especially after January 6th, this moment feels different. In the past, Republican unity protected him. He survived impeachment twice and even reclaimed the presidency. But now the concern is no longer about a single incident. It's about a disturbing pattern of behavior. Trump has doubled down on debunked election claims, called elections crooked, and demanded Republicans nationalize voting. His obsession with Greenland has resurfaced, with reports that he even floated the idea of military pressure against Denmark. Perhaps most shocking, it emerged that he messaged Norway's prime minister, expressing frustration that he felt less inclined toward peace because he never received a Nobel Peace Prize. That revelation stunned lawmakers, suggesting personal grievances may be influencing global decisions. Senator Ed Markey publicly called for invoking the 25th Amendment, citing Trump's fixation on Greenland as proof he is unfit to be commander-in-chief. Many Democrats agree, arguing that Trump's behavior, foreign policy threats, and impulsive decision-making mean he should not control the military or nuclear arsenal. Reports now suggest over 100 House members and multiple senators support Trump's removal in some form. Whether through resignation, impeachment, or the 25th Amendment, they agree on one thing: Trump cannot continue as president. So what happens next? Resignation would be the simplest option. Trump could step down, allowing Vice President Vance to assume the presidency without legal drama. But realistically, resignation is highly unlikely. Trump has never backed down, not after impeachment, not after losing the 2020 election, and not now. He would almost certainly frame resignation demands as a witch hunt and rally his base around claims of elite sabotage. That leaves impeachment. The House could impeach him with a simple majority, but conviction in the Senate would require a two-thirds vote, meaning Republicans would have to break ranks in significant numbers. While some GOP members may privately believe Trump has crossed a line, voting against him could end their political careers. Unless Trump commits an act so extreme that his base abandons him, impeachment remains unlikely. The 25th Amendment is even harder. It requires the vice president and a majority of the cabinet to declare Trump unfit, and then survive a congressional vote if Trump contests it. Given the loyalty of his cabinet, this option remains a last resort, unless something catastrophic occurs. So why are lawmakers making these demands publicly? Pressure. Even without removal, Congress can investigate, subpoena, and hold hearings. Lawmakers also want history to record that they spoke out. With the 2026 midterms approaching, these demands energize voters, boost fundraising, and draw sharp contrasts. What truly triggered this latest wave is Trump's increasingly reckless behavior. His obsession with Greenland, his unilateral actions in Venezuela without congressional approval, and his apparent disregard for constitutional limits have alarmed lawmakers. The War Powers Act requires Congress to be notified of military action, yet Trump appears to be bypassing it entirely. All of this paints a picture of chaotic, ego-driven leadership. That's why pressure is building. Trump may ignore it, but the longer he does, the more volatile the situation becomes. The bottom line? Trump's authority is being questioned in ways never seen before. This is not just noise. These are serious constitutional concerns raised by members of Congress who fear unchecked presidential power. We are in uncharted territory. Whether this ends in resignation, impeachment, constitutional crisis, or political stalemate remains unclear. But one thing is certain: Capitol Hill is on edge, the pressure is mounting, and the next move could redefine the presidency itself.